Welcome. I'm Alice Alicia Jones, and I'm going to continue on what I was talking about on Monday. This is precognition, the gift of prophecy. And the reason that I feel that this is so important right now is that I am seeing more and more people that are coming to me and they claim that they are seeing the future in dreams or visions, and they don't know what to do with it. They're frightened. So, effectively, again, just as I did on Monday, I want to reassure you that if you have been given the gift of prophecy, that you are ready for it. There is a reason why you are being asked to bring the future forward. There, this is, I feel right now, an extremely important topic because so many people are so scared about what it is that's going on in their life, and they just want some assurance that they're going to be okay. And ultimately, the message that I have to bring forward with everything that think, say, and do is to encourage you to stay in a positive mode, to encourage you to stay in a state of grace, to stay in a place of love, because it is that which love is the energy that fuels our universe. And effectively, no matter what is happening out there, it is going to be the love that you can bring forward that is going to exude your ability to cope with everything that goes around you. People may be, in terms of energetic composition, they may be dropping like flies. I don't mean that they're dying, but they're energetically, they just may be so upset, so nervous, so negative. You are going to have to stay positive. You are going to have to stay in a place of love for you to handle everything that is thrown at you. And I the what I was encouraged again by my guides to do was to bring forward the one person that was born in the 16th century and talk about him. Uh, I'm positive you have heard of him. His name is Nostradamus, and he was born in 1503, just at the start of the 16th century, and he died in 1566. And he very quickly was, from a very early age, he was taught astrology by his grandfather. And at the age of 14, he started the university at Avignon in, in France. He ultimately got expertise in as an apothecary, and he also got expertise as a medical doctor. But when he went to Avignon, he started in the 3 years that he was there. He started to focus on herbal medicines. And effectively, if you stop to think, what did our world rely on except herbs? That is the basis of all our medicine. Our chemicals, um, the pills that are, given us, have their basis in herbs, the chemical compositions of herbs. I can remember when I was in Glastonbury, I was in the Bishop's Garden, and this was a house that was right next to the ruined Glastonbury Cathedral. And the garden might have had at least several hundred herbal remedies. And I know I've seen a lot of them here at the botanical gardens, which is the herbal garden is located right next to the bonsai house. So in the botanical garden, I'm sorry, not the botanical gardens, the arboretum in downtown DC off of New York Avenue. So those of you who live in Washington, DC, I so encourage you to go there. I'm pretty sure it's open. Uh, that I know it was closed for a while, but I'm pretty sure it's open now. And my husband and I just took a walk through Brook Green Gardens on Sunday, and it was absolutely delightful. There were so many more flowers in bloom than I had expected. But anyway, Nostradamus, between his understanding of astrology and his herbal studies, then he transferred to the University of, and I think it's called Montpellier in France. And that's where he got his medical degree in 1522. His predictions came from an ability called scrying. Those of you who may not have heard of this, this is pouring water into a bowl. And the scrying bowl that I saw, the only one that I have seen that really looked authentic to me, was black, and it looked like it was made of black enamel. And when you pour water into the bowl, what he would do, Nostradamus would do, is he would go into meditation and he would have visions. So effectively from those visions, but what he did too, it wasn't just water in that bowl, it was herbs. He put herbs in the bowl, and from those herbs, he got visions. And those visions, effectively, when you stop to think, he wrote all of these down. He recorded all his visions one by one and wrote them down in 1555. And five is the number of transformation. And so this was 1555, 555. And effectively, the book was called Prophecies. And this has had a lot of attention recently because, well, at least I would say since World War II, because the people that have read his quatrains, um, 4 lines, not rhyming, but 4 lines, and the people that have read them have seen a an ability to predict the French Revolution, to predict Napoleon, to predict Hitler, to predict 9/11, the World Trade Center, to predict the assassination of Robert and John F. Kennedy, and also Louis Pasteur, and the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So they were, if you just simply Google Nostradamus and go through a number of his websites, the one I took this from was, I think, called Business Review. And so it took every one of the quatrains, the major ones that I just talked about. I won't have time to go into many, but I do want to uh, tell you the his. I did want to read to you the quatrain that is credited with predicting the World Trade Center. earth shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause tremors around the new city. Two great rocks will war for a long time. Then Arethusa will redden a new river. Arethusa is a nymph river goddess, and she ended up in mythology in an underground stream. And as she went into an underground stream, the Artemis, who was pursuing her, also went into the underground stream and blended his energies with her. But the way I see it, the first two lines could have predicted the World Trade Center, earth shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause tremors around the new city. And if you stop to think, what came as a result of the World Trade Center? The war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq. But the war in Afghanistan is one of the longest, certainly the longest raging war that we have been involved in, but it's also one of the longest on the planet. And that third line, two great rocks will war for a long time. Think about that. The Middle Eastern powers against our power. And no matter what, the rocks, 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 immovable. There's something very predictable about rocks not being able to be budged. And so the fact that the then our Rethusa will redden a new river. Again, if you think about it, whenever I see redden a river, it always feels to me like the blood of the people. And to the best of my knowledge, there have been over 1 million deaths credited to the the wars that we're part of in the Middle East. So even though I think our soldiers, our troops, number in the 4,000, by the time you calculate all of the deaths, you're at there. I do want to end this with the quatrain that is credited with predicting the assassination of JFK and Robert Kennedy. This says, this is the first sentence: the great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt. An evil deed foretold by the bearers of a petition. According to the prediction, another falls at nighttime. And it ends with something that has no relation to JFK's death, but it says conflict at Rheims, London, pestilence in Tuscany. And it just dawned on me as I was preparing this. If you look at the first sentence, the great man will be struck down in the day by a thunderbolt. It was the middle of the day. It was a parade. And thunderbolt, Nostradamus could have referred to the shot as a thunderbolt. An evil deed foretold by the bearers of a petition. Apparently, JFK received hundreds and hundreds of death threats, which could be looked upon as petitions. And according to the predictions, another falls at night. And John F. Kennedy was struck, I'm sorry, Robert Kennedy was struck down shortly after midnight as he was going through the kitchen of the hotel. So, anyway, I wanted to share those with you. I would love it if you would go into the uh, the uh, Google and just see a few more for yourself and just see what you think about them. And if you yourself have been given dreams or visions where you're predicting the future, I've only had it happen to me once, which I'll share probably on Friday, maybe on Monday. But anyway, I do want to reassure you that if you have been given this gift, you are ready for it. And it is a gift to be shared, it is not a gift to be afraid of. And I so encourage you to go on my website or Amazon.com and look up my book, Own Your Power Day by Day. It is 2 pages. You, even though it's 750 pages total, you read 2 pages a day. It's a daily meditation, and it will absolutely help you stay upbeat, positive, and forward moving. I thank you, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday.